Hey YouTube, it's your boy Skinny Penis. I'm back in LA for spring break, and I have deck profiles for Nectar now because I left my tripod at home, so I couldn't record them at school. So I've had these for like 2 months, and I just haven't done anything with them. So we're running two of the new starter Kaluna Musketeer Elma because she's really fucking good. GB1, counterblast 1, put it to the bottom of the deck. When your Musketeer Vanguard attacks, pay cost, check top 4, call a Musketeer, give it 4k and shuffle. So it gives Nectar multi-attack, which it really doesn't have a lot of, which is great in Musketeer because it can hit dumb fuck numbers now. And multi-attacking is always good. So this is really fun. You can make a spicy column of them, 10k poke a rear, and then have Vanguard attack something, and then just call two things. She's great, and I love running her too. She's a spicy card. And if the first one gets retired, it means you have another one. She's actually that good. Next, 4 copies of Luard Musketeer Rosita, who's the new grade 3 and is usually the ride target now. It's when you stride a Musketeer, you check top 4 and call a Musketeer. And that's it. It's a free, which is good. And then it has a GB1 where you can counterblast 1 and choose 2 normal Musketeers from drop and put them onto the bottom of the deck to stride a Musketeer. So it's Gurgit and Luard's child, who's a pretty spicy piece of cardboard. And I love her. Him. Fancy boy. It's great. It works with a new G unit I'll get into, so it's a good card, because free striding's always good. We're still running 4 copies of Miarita, which is still a solid piece of cardboard. GB1 end phase, put 2 normal units from drop to bottom of deck, and when you stride, you can counterblast 1, sack something, checked up 4, call. I'm probably going to cut it down to 3 or maybe 2, just because early game stuff, and this deck could benefit off of that, and we don't need 8 grade 3s, but I left a lot of my extras at school, so this is what I'm recording. And you know, it's fine. It's an NB Dizzle. Grade 2 lineup is exactly the same. 4 Augusto, the 12k beater, 4 Tessa, the one that gives a fuck ton of power, and 3 Sylvia, the one that gives early game. I see no reason for this to change, honestly. Like, the grade 2s from the new set were kind of mediocre, I felt, and they didn't really facilitate an early game, which is what's important. So, if I do cut down the grade 3s, that's probably where they'll go into, like, 1 or 2 of the new cards, but I just don't see them super necessary right now. Grade 1s, is actually mostly changed. We're still running 4 Rebecca just because it facilitates superior calls, and it can do battle phase shenanigans, because if you go into Elma and call Rebecca, you get a free column, which is really good. Rebecca's still for early game stuff, so she's still good. Next, 4 copies of the PG, which is Artemisia Musketeer Kiara, who's the subclan PG, so it has the PG thing, and its extra effect is mediocre as hell. It's bind itself and choose a card from drop and put it to the bottom of the deck, and you can give a Musketeer 2k. The 2k, what you run this not for the 2k, but because it can let you put triggers back in, because it's not normal units. So being able to recycle heals for free is fucking lit. So that's honestly why you run it. The 2k really doesn't fucking matter. Because we're running 2 starters and we needed to put them somewhere, we're running 3 copies of Stokasia Musketeer Daphne, who's the Musketeer stride fodder. So it becomes a grade 3 when you stride a Musketeer, and when you use it as stride cost, you can counterblast 1, check top 4, and call it Musketeer. I really wish it was more of the other stride fodders where, like, that you could call it and reveal something to search, like Revolver Draco Kid, just to help guarantee the ride for whatever matchup. But, you know, it's subclan stride fodder, so we'll take what we can get. It's better than the one that, like, can be retired because the you have to keep it on the field and then retire it, so it's better. Black Rose Musketeer Venery, who's decent. GB1, if you have a Musketeer Vanguard, it gets 1k for every other Musketeer. So if you have a full field, it can become a 12k base, which is fucking lit. No, it's, no, yeah, it is 12k base, which is good. And if you call it with, Elma, it becomes a 16k beater, so he's a good boy. Triggers, still running 4 copies of Ernst because it's fucking Ernst. 4 copies of Anthurium Musketeer Kirito, who's one of those fancy schmancy heals that when you G-guard, you can bind to from drop to either soul charge or counter charge. The deck eats soul and countered blast, so it's definitely important to have that. Next, 4 copies of Gardania Musketeer Elaine. When called by a Musketeer effect, you can countercharge 2. Again, eats counterblast, so unflipping is fun. And 4 copies of the best Neo-Nectar card in the entire clan, Marigold Musketeer Rochelle, who on rear guard drop GB1 counts as a normal unit and not a trigger unit, which is fucking fan-fucking-tastic. I love this effect to death. If you're on Rosita, you can use her as the stride cost. You can stride by putting triggers back in. If you're on Miorita, you can just put them at the bottom of the deck at the end phase to put triggers back in. It's just, being able to put triggers back in is so fucking good, and the fact that she counts as a non-trigger to help facilitate that's godly. I love her to death. Under the G-Zone, 4 copies of Maiden Lily Captain, Musketeer Captain Virginal Cecilia, XD. Counterblast 1 Persona Flip. You can retire as many of your rear guards as you want. Check top 7, call as many as you retired, and they all get 3k for each face-up Musketeer, which is fucking lit. It can hit it's great first stride because it deck thins, and it's great later on because it helps reach dumb fuck numbers. So, she's good. She's really good. Next, 4 copies. We're still running 4 copies of Myra. You go into Virginal if you're on, Rosita, because Rosita gives you a card for free that's sack fodder for Virginal, and you go into Myra when you're on Miorita, because Miorita lets you... Miorita's stride skill is an act, so you can use Myra's ability and then call them to increase the power from Myra. So it depends. You're running 4 of each just because it depends on which grade 3 you're on. She helps facilitate stupid numbers. You Soul Blast and Persona Flip, and whenever you call a Musketeer, it gets 2k for each Musketeer. So absurd numbers, and because this is an auto ability, she's great with the new starter because you can call a card and give it like 8k, which is fucking lit. We're still running 2 copies of the original Cecilia, which does nothing while you're on, because you need a Cecilia heart. We're running it because Myra flips anything, and there really isn't that much that's good in, like, the non-bloom G-Zone from Neo-Nectar, so it's basically just flip fodder from Myra. But if your opponent leaves you with no counterblasts, and you're on, Rosita, you can just stride into Cecilia to use the stride skill and get power. So, it's something. It's mainly just G-Assist / flip fodder for Myra. We're running 1 copy of Zeroth Dragon, of Death Guard, and Zoa, because there's plenty of room for it. If you know your opponent has no PGs, just fucking kill them with Rochelle. Zoa's one of the shittiest fucking ZRs, but you know, it's not awful as a standalone card, so let's keep it and beat people to death with a 99k, which is fucking great. Weird little moth dragon man. G-Guards. We have 5 of those. 4 copies of Rain Breath. Lets you call things during the battle phase. Makes some shenanigans with Tessa and Rebecca. It's free as hell for 5k, and you can call an Interceptor, so it's worth. Dismal because you have rearguards that you want to protect, like Tessa, so you can protect important rearguards against clans that don't have control bases. Okay, we hit the 10-minute ad revenue 6, so we can wrap this up. And lastly, 2 of the new Bond Protector Musketeer Honoro. When you G-Guard, you can Soul Blast 1 to give it 5k, and then if you have 4 or more or 1 or less rear guards, it gets an additional 15k shield. So it can be a thick boy, but it's also a musketeer, so it goes towards Virginial Cecilia's power, which is great. Yeah, that's it for the deck. Changes might happen while I do more playtesting, but I'm liking it so far. It's fun. Elma makes it great because multi-attacking. What else is there to talk about? It's a fun deck. It's not meta, but like it can do some dumb shenanigans. So if you like Neo Nectar, recommend picking it up because it's fun. It's basically just budget Gurgit is a really good way to define it. It's budget Gurgit. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Games will be uploaded soon. Peace out, my dudes.